Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carrie, and today I'm going to give you an update on how the last month has gone. It's been a month since I've been at the doctor. We are in the process of changing to a full whole foods, plant-based, vegan diet. We're still in a little bit of transition. We still had some stuff that we had to use up. We've pretty much cut out all dairy products and all eggs. We're down to maybe a little bit of chicken left in the freezer, but then that's it. Most of the food that I have been making over the last week has all been vegan. So I just wanted to give you guys an update, tell you how I'm feeling, what's all been going on. And then I plan on trying to shoot more videos and get you guys on track so you see how I'm eating and then how my progress is going. So I stepped on the scale 2 weeks ago and I had lost 5 pounds in the first couple weeks. Told myself that I would not step on the scale again for a month. I know that with my body in the past when I've lost weight, I've held weight. It's like my body didn't want to give it up and then all of a sudden it would drop. So I know that I can't check my weight often and get discouraged with the scale by any means whatsoever. As to how I'm feeling in the last month with the transition, I've noticed that I have more energy. I've noticed that my clothes are fitting looser. I have been sleeping better at night. Those are like the 3 top things that I've noticed. I did have a slip up and had some fried food one night. Sweet and sour shrimp. I have a Chinese, I kind of like Chinese and I like chow mein and everything, but I wanted something different. And that really hit me hard. It tasted fantastic, but then my stomach hurt for 24 hours. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess we're kind of done with the fried food thing for sure. If I'm going to feel that way, it's just not worth it. And I guess I felt pretty crummy after eating it every time, if I recall right. I always wanted to go to sleep after eating fried food, so that was an indication to me that yeah, fried food's just kind of out of it. I do have an air fryer now, so that'll be cool. Should be able to have some of my fried foods then, like tonight for dinner, and I'll show you that a little bit later, of fried buffalo cauliflower. So I'm looking forward to making that. And then I have been reading this book called The Starch Solution. It's been a really good read. We had watched Forks Over Knives, and then we had also watched Game Changer. And then I saw another YouTuber point to this book, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not a book reader, but I couldn't put this book down. Once I got it, I just kept reading, and it was very much like the documentaries. Only thing is he, Dr. McDougall talks about what foods that you should eat in a day, in this kind of a lifestyle, and that it's the potatoes and the rice, and eating more of those versus eating your animal meat. So that's been really good, and it's really helped me. I've made one of his recipes, which was the potato soup, and the only thing I did different was I added corn to it to give it just a little bit of a sweet tinge, and it was fabulous. My whole family loved it. Well, the the exception of my almost 5-year-old daughter, who doesn't seem to like anything at this point very much. So everything I've read, that's normal for her age. She'll get there. I'm sure she will. I'm just trying to make sure that she eats as much of the food as I can get her to eat anyhow, and trying to pull her away from the junk food. She's a lot like her dad. She likes to snack all day long. So where I'm a person who likes to eat a big meal and then not have to think about food for, 4-6 hours or so. So that's been a little bit of a struggle on my end. I fill up really fast with what we're eating, but then I only eat one plate, and I see some of these other people are eating 2 to 3 helpings, and one plate is all I can manage to get in. And so I'm a hungry little sooner than I want to be, so I'm trying to come up with, like, my afternoon snack this afternoon will be, I'm doing 2 Brazil nuts now and 2 dates, and then an apple for the fiber. And that has been holding me off so my dinner can be, 6-7 hours from when lunch was. And it's doing very well. The reason I picked the Brazil nut is because it does have a lot of high vitamins. It's got magnesium, potassium, and selenium in it. And I know with selenium, you have to watch your intake of that. So that's why I'm only doing 2 nuts a day. Because if you have too much selenium in your system, that's how you can lose your hair. Those were the benefits that I looked up for when I was looking for what kind of nut that I could have just a minimal amount with, because I'm trying to do low fat. And that one popped up with like all of these good things about it. But then the selenium, which is something you need, but too much of it obviously does a bad thing with losing hair. And I don't need to lose hair. My hair's thinned out as I've aged as it is, so I don't really want to look at doing that any more than what I already have in nature, I guess. So on that note, I think everything is going really well. I'm feeling a lot better than I anticipated to feel. Obviously, I can't go in every month and get my blood work checked, but I can tell that there's a difference, which is what I was aiming for, because the whole point of doing this was for health purposes to start with anyhow. Obviously, I'm seeing other benefits, which is good. It's really, really good, and I'm super excited for how I'm going to feel even in a month from now, We've tried quite a few different things. I think the one thing that I've struggled with the most over all of this has been trying to get my food seasoned correctly. Okay, I could season food just fine when it had meat in it. And that's been a pretty big struggle. My food's been pretty bland at times. Okay, guys, let's start with prepping for dinner here. I have cut up a head of cauliflower. I've got that all washed and chopped into smaller pieces. I am making roasted potatoes and Brussels sprouts to go with it. And there's that right there. I did put a tablespoon of olive oil in it, and then seasoned it with salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and rosemary. And now that's going to have to go in the oven and bake for about 45 minutes to an hour while I prep up all of the stuff for the cauliflower to coat that and then air fry that. Okay, so we're going to work with the coating that I'm going to make for the cauliflower. I've got 1/2 cup of all-purpose gluten-free flour and 1/2 cup of almond flour, and I'm going to add salt, pepper, a little bit of onion powder. I don't ever measure, guys. A little bit of garlic powder, little bit of paprika, just a little bit of salt, and then a little bit of cayenne pepper. I'm going to make this a little spicy, but not too spicy because I don't have ranch dressing and I haven't found a good substitution for that yet. I'm getting to the point where I'm probably just going to make my own here shortly, but I'm not there yet. And then, so you've got this coating here with all of the seasonings in it. And then that's what I'm going to use to coat the cauliflower. Mix it all up really well with a fork, just like you did when you made fried chicken. So here I have some almond milk with about 5 drops of Frank's Red Hot. That's what I'm going to use for my liquid to be able to get the coating to stick. So I'm going to take a chunk of cauliflower, I'm going to coat it here to get it wet, drop off the extra liquid, and then put it in the flour mixture to get it coated. And then put it in the air fryer basket. And then I'm going to do that with quite a few different pieces. Into the water, into the milk and Frank's, and then into the coating. Try to get as much shoved in there because cauliflower has got beautiful ridges and all that. And then I'm just going to do that to all of it. Okay, so here I've got all of the cauliflower all ready to go. So now we're going to air fry that as the potatoes are getting close to done. And I have a Cuisinart air fryer. I did a lot of research and I liked the way this one worked better than some of the other ones. So I've got that in there. I'm going to set it at 350 and we're going to go for 15 minutes. And we're off. So the cauliflower is in the air fryer. It's working its way. I've got the vegetables, the roasted potatoes and Brussels sprouts in the oven, broiling right now to make them nice and brown. Right before dinner, I made some cookies. It's like a quick and easy, it's like 15 minutes to make them. 5 minutes to mix them up, 8 minutes to bake them, and they're good to go. They're like one of our favorite go-tos. So that's what we get for dessert. Okay guys, so here's the final product. The air fried cauliflower, the potatoes and Brussels sprouts, and I did make myself some homemade ranch dressing with vegan mayo and a little bit of almond milk to give me the little bit of familiar flavor that I want. If I can tell you right now by looking at the cauliflower, when I do it again, I'm going to make the batter a liquid batter versus liquid into dry. I definitely can see where that's going to turn out a little bit better. But that's the end for today, and subscribe to my channel and continue to watch for new videos as I shall be posting more frequently now that I have converted fully. Bye!